Yo, SojuTalk Nation! On this week's episode, we'll be covering Fuego releases from MCND, Treasure, VICTON, and G-IDLE. We'll also be cooking up some spicy news coverage, including GOT7's Disbandment and Legacy, and the Golden Disc Awards. So prepare your body, turn up the volume because we coming in hot. Hit me with that intro. Hey, what's up everyone? This is SojuTalk, your weekly shot at K-pop. We're coming at you with a super spicy episode 121, and we're recording on Monday, January 11th, 2020. I'm Doug, and joining me today we got Warren.
Hey, what's up everybody?
And Anita.
Hello.
And as a quick reminder, check out SojuTalk on your favorite podcast platform, sub to us on YouTube, and join the SojuTalk Discord and be a part of the nation. We don't really got announcements, but yesterday was my birthday, you know? My sister got me this hat. It's the official poo-poo ass hat. So if you're on YouTube, you can check it out. I will hold up it. It's embroidered, so it has two poop emojis and two peach emojis to signify poo-poo ass, which is one of our SojuTalk memes, I would say.
It's one of a kind, right? There's only one that exists.
I think there's only one, yeah.
Imagine the guy making embroidering in the four emojis.
Hey, like, I've seen like poop emoji stuff in stores, so you know it's not too crazy.
I mean, two poops and two peaches, you know, it's just a little funky, but all right.
All right, but we got no announcements, so we're now at part 1 of SojuTalk episode 121, where we discuss big new releases, choose a spicy song king, and hit you with the music show winners. Boom. All right, big new releases this week. We're covering 4 of them. So on January 8th, Friday, we have MCND's Crush. And then today, January 11th, Monday, was a big day. We have Treasure's My Treasure, VICTON's What I Said, and G-IDLE's HWAA. But let's start at the top with MCND's Crush. So they are from TOP Media. They debuted in 2020. Last 3 songs. It's kind of crazy. They already have 3 music videos. I think it's Na Na Na, Spring, and Ice Age were their 3 tracks, and 0 music show wins so far. Some info about TOP Media. They're hosting some kind of audition for new talent. I read that you could be as young as 10 years old and apply.
Oh my god. 10 years old.
They said you could be as young as 2010 and apply to this.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
In 2010?
Seems a little sus. But let's talk about Crush. Anita, what did you think about Crush?
First impression was the sound of this comeback was more in line with their debut sound, I would say.
Okay.
Like more leaning on like hip hop type, but like a chanty chorus, if that makes sense. A little bit slower than Ice Age, but I still feel like okay, this reminds me of kind of what got me interested in them in the first place.
I think that's fair. I honestly, so it's not a direct comparison. I thought this had a similar vibe to NCTU's Make-A-Wish birthday song, sort of kind of the style of song that they're going for. Not a direct match, but sort of the same vibes. I agree though. Oh, go on.
It's all trap music, hip hop.
Yeah, essentially. I felt that this one though, you did point out that it is a little bit slower than Ice Age.
Yes,
and for me, that's to its detriment, to be honest. For some reason, I don't think MCND was really that hyped at debut. No one was like, oh man, this is that new boy group. But with that Ice Age song, they kind of popped off. And I think that they were the big surprise out of the rookie boy groups last year in terms of like what people were expecting. For me, with this Crush song, it felt like just a little bit too laid back for me. I don't know, something about it. Warren doesn't agree though, so you can go, Warren.
It's a rare occurrence where I like a song and Doug is like on the other end of the spectrum.
Oh.
It's a rare occurrence. I think I understand why you guys think it's slow, right? Like it's I think I'm gonna make a guess and say the BPM's like somewhere around 160 or 80. But the thing is like with trap music like this, anything faster is gonna be like it's not good. It's not gonna be good. This is like max speed you want to get to with this kind of genre. With like trap music, it's like the constant hi-hats, like that going on in the background.
Yeah.
Production obviously is a lot more minimal. Which I actually really, really enjoyed because it wasn't very strongly in your face. There wasn't a lot of ups and downs, yes, but it felt a lot more groovy and felt like one entire trip throughout. much like it felt more like it's mirroring the hip hop trends and trap trends, and that's where I thought like, okay, this feels less like K-pop trying to do trap. It feels like they're embracing that whole genre and their way of making music. And sure, maybe the rap wasn't the most impressive in the entire world, but like at the entire time, I was having fun, like I was bopping along, and like I was like, oh, like look at them go, hear them go, oh yeah, like
I'm not saying it's like a bad song. Just for me, it felt like, I know what you were saying, that they're like, I guess for me, it just felt like it didn't do a ton of things. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just chilling. It was cool. It was a vibe, but I didn't feel like I went places. Like I was just kind of along for the ride, which might not be the worst thing in the world. But for me, like, I was expecting something a little bit different. But I guess I do see what you're saying in terms of the genre of song that they were going for, how they might be restricted in that, right? How they kind of have to do this type of thing. I think that's fair. Any more comments,
yeah.
Anita?
Oh, no, I also did want to point out that for me, in this particular comeback, I found that they utilized the vocal quality of each member very well.
Okay. Yeah.
And the member that stood out the most was Win. So he is the one with the darker blue hair, and he has like the deeper voice, right? And I feel like where his voice came in made total sense in the song. Like I think it added to that trap hip hop vibe that the song was trying to do as well. So I feel like they did the vocal arrangement, like I guess vocal directing, I should say, very well. I think I also thought Castle J, I think that's his name, the leader.
Yep.
I thought his vocals were really good in the beginning. Like I feel like I thought he was more of a rapper, but his vocals as a singer were also really nice in this one. So I don't know. Props to the vocal directors here because it really worked.
Here's one thing that I missed a little. You remember, I believe, definitely in Ice Age, maybe in another one of the songs, they did couple choreo. You remember that,
Yeah,
Anita?
they did.
They did not do it in this one. And I was like,
okay.
I'd really like some couple choreo because that was kind of their thing for a little bit.
Wait, there's 5 people. If they do couple choreo, what does the other guy do?
I mean, they're off screen. Like, it was literally in a couple of their songs they were doing this, and it was just like bros dancing was kind of the vibe.
I saw
Bros
a live
dancing.
stage of this because I was wondering, like, what does the choreo look like? Do they still do the set, the duo type of choreo? And they didn't emphasize that as much, but they still do this very interesting thing where, like, 3 of them will be dancing and then 2 are at the side, and then 1 is at the center, and then the rest are gone, and then 4, and like is hardly ever all 5 doing all of it.
So
I
they
think
do it a
except for the
little.
chorus. Yeah, so I think maybe that is going to be like their style and choreography for a while, but it's interesting that they do it that way.
Some of the shots in the music video, the songs are not similar at all. You remember the Born Hater music video where people were in boxes? Like
Oh yeah,
narrow
I thought of
boxes?
that too.
Yeah.
I thought of that.
Yeah.
Another thing, like, they used a lot of tin foil on some of the sets. The walls
Yes.
were completely covered in tin foil. I don't know if there's some kind of conspiracy theory going on. We got the tinfoil hats on, but like, felt like they used a lot of tinfoil.
Yeah, not great for the environment, but hope they recycle.
Overall, though, MCND, they're from TOP Media, which also houses Uptension. Uptension's going through a little bit of a weird thing due to the like amount of soloists and people sitting out they got going on. I think it's Up7 Shun right now, technically. MCND, though, was a big surprise last year. I'm very curious to see what they're going to do going forward because they have a lot more hype than I think people and probably their company would have expected at this point, right? Like, they're doing way better than expectation. So that was MCND's Crush. Let's move on to the second song. We have Treasure with My Treasure. I don't know about these naming conventions with YG. The album, like, they just been doing it with these names. So they are obviously from YG. Debuted last year in 2020. They also have 3 title tracks already. I Love You and Boy, 0 music show wins so far, but I think that they're relatively close to getting one. Let me start off. This is my favorite Treasure song out of the 4.
Oh.
You know what? Can I add
That's
something?
good.
Can I add something?
Okay.
Yes.
I 500% agree.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Finally.
This was
this.
like-
I like this.
I was missing things in the past song. I thought, it didn't really fit them as a group yet. It felt a little bit more mature. You remember we were talking like there's
Yes.
14 or 15-year-olds doing like that kind of song,
Right.
I Love You had that kind. You remember the little bit of the trolley finger heart head movement
Yeah.
choreo? I was like, that's kind of a thing. This song to me felt like they brought it all together and finally gave us like a complete package, and I was really down for it. my main reason why I like this song is they double down on the vocals in this one. And
yeah, I would agree.
particularly our boy, Mr. Wayo himself, Yedam,
Yes.
did really well in this song.
The high note.
Yeah, he was carrying a lot of this song, and he got a ton of screen time. But what were you guys' initial impressions of My Treasure?
The music video. Oh my god. The
So
budget for
colorful.
this. Yeah, I feel like the edits that they did, like the animations, like a lot of like sparkly like effects, right? On the screen. Like it there was like glitter, but also like added on glitter, like visual effect glitter. I don't know how they do it. I don't know what the term would be, but it looked so pretty. I loved everything about it. I think I have to watch it multiple times because there's so much going on the sets and with the members, because they kind of do individual shots for this one. So like there's different sets for different people, and they're all super detailed. I don't know how they did it, but it looks really nice. So props to the music video director.
Talk about the production a little bit. I really liked it, right? Because there was a good mix between trap music and then most of the hook was a chorus was a lot of disco, and that was really fun. I finally felt like, to use a bit of an analogy, I felt like previously Treasure was. It felt like they were wearing their dad's blazer, dad's suit jacket, and like,
I 100% agree. I 100%
you know,
agree with this. Yeah.
Here it feels like they put on like a slim fit, well fitted, blazer jacket, and it feels much more appropriate, a lot more fun, which obviously makes sense for their age, and that was really cool. I will say, there's this part from after the first chorus, it goes into this triplet trap thing, like that thing. Wasn't super big on that. Kind of felt random, felt a little abrupt, coming in and coming out of it. Yeah, wasn't super big on it. But aside from that, I felt like this is. I agree with you, Doug, what you said in the very beginning. I felt like it is the least YG-esque.
100% agree.
Amazing way, right? Yeah. When's the last time you heard YG do disco? When is it?
So, for reference, Teddy is not a part of any of this production.
I'm
Didn't think so.
I don't like you anymore, Teddy. I did 10 years ago, but not anymore.
I kind of like Teddy from the Blackpink doc. If you watch the Blackpink doc, you get a different look at Teddy.
Okay, I mean...
That being said, the theming of the song is also one of those very uplifting songs, and they're talking about spring coming after the winter. It completely makes sense with what we're going through right now. I agree. The only real issue I had with this song was that I felt that the rap section, the pacing slowed down too much. That was my big... It was not even a big criticism. The only thing I really thought was wrong with the song. Funky and light, colorful and retro is what I wrote down in my notes. It kind of felt like a post-credit song, like a credit song.
Yes, I totally agree. Like from a movie or something.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, definitely agree with that.
Overall, though, I was like, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't watch any of the teasers for this one. Because honestly, I had a little bit of Treasure fatigue from all of the end of the year shows. They were on a bunch of them. I saw like 400 times this winter. I know that song completely now. But even the choreo, I thought was simple but really fit the song. They didn't try to do too much, which, like, if we compare it to their other songs, they were doing a lot in those songs.
Yes, less is more. Less is more.
Yeah. And I also felt like this was one of the first times I felt like they had a handle of how many members they have. It didn't feel like people were being underutilized or they were cutting out people. It felt like a decent spread, even though they did give Yedam a lot of screen time, so they balanced it well, I guess, to me. Yeah, overall, go check out this one. Really surprising to me how good this one was.
Very clean. Very clean.
Yeah, let's move on to the next one. So we have VICTON's What I Said. So they are from Play M Entertainment, which also houses A-Pink. Debuted 2016. Last 3 songs were Mayday, Howling, Nostalgic Night. 3 music show wins so far. This one's kind of different from their other VICTON songs. Particularly Mayday and Howling, I would consider them more like dark blue songs. This one was kind of orangish reddish, I would say, if you were given it colors.
Okay. Do you also hear things and see them as colors? Is that what?
I might. So right off the top, some people were saying that this song sounded like Cardi B's "I Like It," which references the original song Pete Rodriguez's "I Like It Like That." I don't know if there's a direct reference or that's what they're going for, but it is a similar type of song, I would say.
Yeah.
at least bits of it to me. That being said, I like this one. I thought this one was good too. Something number one, maybe I liked it because of Sungu's visuals were off the top.
Oh, wow.
Like, he would look at handsome.
What a guy!
Okay.
The blue hair in
That
this
lad.
one, bro. That was a handsome dude in this one. The main thing that I noticed before we even talk about the song, there was one shot with one of the rappers, and they definitely invested in the RoboCam
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
of
yeah,
how quick the panning was of the camera.
Yes.
Kendrick Lamar. Yeah.
Yeah, they 100% rented the robot and programmed it to do those shots. Clearly, because
Right.
I felt like they harped on that a little bit too much, though. Like they even like backed out and showed you the robot arm. Like they were showing like look at our
Yeah.
investment, how cool it is. Woo!
I mean, I'll be frank. Like, when did Kendrick use that in his video? Like in Humble, like what, like 3 years ago at this point?
I
I'm
think
kind
so.
of.
Yeah.
It's,
Been a while.
you know, it's been a fun run. No, we know how it works. No need to show me the camera arm.
Yeah, but what'd you think of the song, Warren? What I said.
I know
Uh-oh.
Anita's been going second continuously, but why don't you go again first, Anita?
Oh.
Really? Oh. God.
Okay. Well, I think I found this song to be very catchy in the chorus. And I think it is meant to be that way, right? I think it's very repetitive. Not a ton of differences, right? Like I think it's meant to be memorable in that sense, and I like it. I like that because it makes it easy, catchy. Also, very nice vocals. I think I paid way more attention to the vocals in this comeback. And I'll shout out one of them who I feel like I never really listened much for them in previous songs, but I think his name is Subin. He had a really nice vocal tone that I feel like I didn't pay attention to before. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the music video and the song are not super complicated. Like it's nothing that I feel like, this is groundbreaking. This is totally never seen before. I just feel like it was very nice though, like very catchy, very upbeat, but like I don't know, like I would label it as kind of like flexing, right? Like
This was a flex song.
A vibe to it.
Look at my ice.
Especially once they did the wide shot into the choreo. The choreo is very like pretentious in a good way. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's clearly what they're going for. Like, we're so cool. Because the choreo, I wouldn't say is the hardest choreo, but it's all about the style and the delivery and the swagger that they're trying to do it in. Like, also, Sunu looked really cool in that shot too, just saying. Warren, okay.
I mean, okay. I feel like whenever I let Anita go first, you guys automatically think I hate the song.
Yes.
I'll say I don't like the song. I'll be very frank here.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I don't hate it though. I mean, look, I think it tries to do one thing and gets across some of it. What really stuck out to me is that main loop with the bomb 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 bomb, that thing. The part I think that's what people are referring to when people are saying that they sampled Cardi on that one. I don't think they did. To me, that instrument seems a lot more light and cheap, and it almost becomes very annoying because it's just repeated over and over and over again. And it stands out very strongly. And the other counter example of something like that is if you go back to Crush by MCND, their sample, the main loop is a lot more subtle and a lot more like laid back with the other instruments. Here it's a lot more, it plays the role of main character a little too much when the vocals should be doing the talking, you know? Like it feels like one of those movies that like narrate what's going on rather than just going with it. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like
show not tell, that type of thing.
Yeah. It feels like that sample's like, oh, this is the song, get hype. But I'm like, okay, I mean, you don't need to do all that, you know, like and with that in mind, I don't know if I'm getting myself across correctly, but with all of that in mind, I felt like the entire flow of things felt a little forced, a little overpaced. But I mean, overall, I don't think it was a bad song or anything. It was exciting, you know. If I hear it in the gym, I'll start running fast.
It's pretty hype. It's pretty hype.
Yeah, it's pretty hype.
I also agree that I do prefer particularly Howling. I think that's a
yes.
really good song from them. It is a bit of a different direction, and we're going to have to see what they do going forward. Overall, for me, though, I do think VICTON is extremely underrated right now. There's a lot of people who don't know who VICTON are, I think, still. I would say at this point, they're like stuck in the absolute mid-tier was where I would put them. I think they should be at least a little bit higher than that. They do have some music show wins, but it just feels like they're not that hyped up. And I think that's a bit of a shame considering how talented they are. All right, let's move on to the shout out to Sungwoo. Let's move on to the last song. So we have G-Idol's HWAA. So they are from Cube, debut 2018. Last 3 songs were Dum Dee Dum Dee, Oh My God, and Lion, I believe. And then they have 18 music show wins so far, which is a lot considering they've been around only 2 years.
Yeah.
Wait, 3. It's 2021 now. Never mind.
Oh man.
But yeah.
Time flies. We're
It's
old
still a lot.
people.
It's still a lot. 18's a lot. HWAA. This song really felt like the similar type of style as Han, the Alone one. Like,
Yes.
Right.
There's also now a Han Cold song, which is one of the B-sides of this. I don't know if it's an EP or an album or whatever. And that one's called Han, and the character means like cold or alone in the winter. But this one, HWAA, the Chinese characters are fire and flower. So that's kind of the image they're trying to portray.
I did some reading, and it turns out it looks like they're trying to make a prequel to Han, which is HWAA. And then with this EP, if the EP begins with their, I guess, remix of Han winter version, cold version, and then it leads into this, and the transition's kind of nice, and that was pretty cool.
Yep. Soyeon specifically said it's supposed to go Han alone into Han cold or alone in the winter into HWAA. That's like the progression that they're going for.
Okay, never mind then. Okay.
Yeah. I think so. Don't quote me on that. But
go read the press releases.
Yeah. Overall though, I'm a little bit conflicted about this one.
Okay.
I really like the concepting. I think starting off with Soyeon, and I think her hair number 1 is fire right now, and the blue dress is awesome.
Lady.
And then she ends up in a bird's nest. That's really cool too. I like that. They're definitely trying to hit very Asian motifs throughout this music video. Yeah. But at the same time, for me at least, we were talking about this before the pod. The chorus section felt a little bit more like Middle Eastern theme, particularly with the things they got over their face, that kind of feel. And also the choreo, that kind of vibes to me. So that was a little interesting. But I know Warren had a different opinion on that, right?
No, I mean I still saw a lot of like Oriental, like it's like a traditional, not traditional, like a Oriental, like how Western media portrays Asian kind of that. Right. They took that and they completely ran with it in a really awesome way. And then I forget her name, but she has the hime cut hairstyle. I forget. Miyeon. Yes. She has the Japanese. I don't know. It was pretty cool. The way they kind of combined it into hair. I will say, because the song is still Moombathon heavy, it does still pull from that like Latin inspiration a lot. I wasn't sure if it kind of mixed well. But I mean, it mixed. I wasn't completely sold on it, but I had fun, so I'm not gonna complain. On terms of a little bit more about the song itself, I wasn't completely sold on the song structure a little bit, especially with the ending.
Yes, that's the big issue. It just ended,
right?
Like
abruptly.
They did the normal traditional stuff. Then they started to do this dance break when they're in the beautiful red scene. Was crazy, right? I thought that scene was awesome. Best shots in the whole music video. And then it just like ended all of a sudden, fam. And like
the whole ending kind of like was paced a little weirdly, because I could tell they were going somewhere, but I wasn't sure where they were going, and they just kind of ended. It felt like I sat down on my toilet, and I had a really, really good poop. I had a really satisfying good poop in the morning, You know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And then you pull out your toilet paper, you start wiping, and then you just
it's a magic marker. It's a magic marker down there.
You just keep wiping. It just doesn't stop. Like, and it's like a bad ending to a satisfying poop. You know what I'm talking about. Like,
oh my god, dude.
Okay.
Okay. Oh my god.
But yes,
You get
it
what
ends
I'm saying. You get
abruptly.
what I'm
It
saying.
ends abruptly.
Right. I'm not saying the song is poop. I'm comparing it to like satisfying,
Jesus Christ.
you know, your morning routine.
Okay.
I guess I was gonna say that now thinking back on it, I did feel when I saw the ending like, oh, I thought there was gonna be more, but knowing they're going very heavily on this theme, right? The fire and the flower and blooming and that sort of stuff. I almost felt like is it supposed to mimic like something being like blown out, so it's like it just disappears? Maybe like it is meant to be abrupt, like you would blow out a candle or something like that. Like it's not how should I say it? It's not a smooth transition to the ending. It's just very quick. So I feel like maybe that could be an interpretation for it. But I do feel like at first listen, I felt like, oh, I thought there was going to be a little bit more. I saw a live stage for it too, thinking like, oh, maybe there's more that they're going to do before the ending. But I don't know. Nothing about the live performance really made it any more less abrupt. So I don't know. Maybe it was on purpose.
But besides that, though, like besides that, this thing with ending we're talking about, the overall production I thought was really impressive, and I thought it was really cool. Because if you compare this to some of the earlier stuff, especially with Han earlier, I've always felt like Soyeon's production, where she works a lot with Big Sancho, felt very in your face, a little too strong almost. And here, I think she's working with Pop Time, who's the guy who works a lot with Zico. And it feels a lot more well put together, and it feels like each instrument is like a lot more sticky with each other, you know? Feels like a nicer sandwich rather than like eating lettuce and then ham separately and calling that a sandwich inside your mouth. Like that's not how sandwiches work, you know? Like,
well, what did you guys feel about the chorus? Because I think people are a little bit divisive on that one.
I think for me, the chorus was the part where I felt like, this sounds to me very similar to Han Alone, the original one, the first one. And I had to go back. I went back to the music video and listened to both because I wasn't sure, like, am I just imagining it? Because I felt like there was some similarities. But I do feel like it is that, like, dragged out note in the somewhere in the chorus where they drag it out. They say Hua in this one, but in the I don't remember what they're saying in Han, but it's like this melody that they go, like a run that they do in that note in the chorus that I felt was very similar. Not exactly like the same. I wouldn't say that they're copying the same thing they did with Han, but it's similar to the point where like, oh yes, I can see this because I feel like I've heard something like this.
Right. It didn't feel like she or Soyeon is creatively depleted. It felt like she was reusing reusing the previous motifs with a purpose, which I was like, okay, that's very tasteful. I like that. Right? It doesn't feel like you've run out of ways to make songs, to me at least.
I just feel like I wanted a little bit more in the chorus. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, I might be
choreo,
leaning towards that way too, yeah.
Or like
Same.
it was what they did there. I just wanted a little bit more like dynamics or something because it felt very understated. I know that's what they're going for, but like I was like, oh man, you were doing all these crazy things in the lyrics and in the the verses, and then we just get like a drawn out chorus, right? So
right. And
just a little bit
overall,
more.
It was a little too aggressive to be considered like laid back or chill.
Yeah.
Right. So it was a little bit like, okay, I don't know.
I really like the lyric "to win back the spring I lost." Something about that lyric I think is really nice.
Since when did you start talking about lyrics?
I mean, I magically had the subtitles on today, sir. So that's where that came from. Overall, though, you know, G-Idol is one of those groups. Like, I'm always interested as what they're going to do. They do a lot of crazy stuff. I think this is one of those songs that by next week I'm going to be like, "Oh, this is amazing, guys." I think I need a little bit more time. I got too little brain folds in my head to process this right now. Even before we recorded, I was still like let me listen to this one more time to try to figure out how I feel about it. I don't think I'm completely understand what they're getting at. I'm going to need a little bit more time, everyone. At the moment though, I think it is solid for them. I would place this, for me personally, behind Dum Dee Dum Dee and head of Oh My God. That's just where I would put it at the moment, in terms of their most recent releases. Because I really like Dum Dee Dum Dee. We'll have to see though. Overall though, Soyeon's killing it. I went back and watched her rap battle against like Cool Kid or something. I think their name was someone like that. She
that was the thing.
destroyed her so badly that girl was never seen again. I think like
Yeah.
I want everyone, if you like don't know all about Soyeon, we met her on Produce. She was very insecure on Produce. There was one episode where they almost had like a therapy session, and she's like, "I'm not pretty. I feel very not confident in herself." But boy, you can't see that now, fam. You see the confidence everywhere. I think the real start of that though was on Pretty Rap Star. When she battled that girl, she absolutely destroyed this girl's career. It was ridiculous.
Doug, do you remember you remember me, right? Like seeing Soyeon for the first time. Do you remember that time?
Yeah, you were like, bro, who is this girl?
Right. Because the Pretty Rap Star season 3 people were doing a cipher on Show Me the Money, whatever season it was on. And like everyone was just bad, and then
she was the only one who was good. On. Yeah,
I know. She just like stares into the camera and then just raps, and I was like, "Yo, like future of hip hop is here." Turns out she was K-pop, but still, I mean, I'm not complaining.
I mean, who knows?
Sorry,
we might
let that out.
We might get some like straight rap stuff from her in the future, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
For sure.
I would like to see that. Please.
The Soyeon mixtape. Let's make it happen.
Oh man.
All right. Other releases this week include Jung Se-eun's "In the Dark." Hayeon, who is Taeyeon's sister, released her second song.
Yes. Okay.
Warren's covering it with his thing. "Walk Away" is the song, and then T1419. It was their debut song. So they're the group who did that one song where they were in the devil masks and stuff.
Yes.
That rookie group, and they are from Momoland's company. Their song is Asura Balta. That one. Yeah. That one with the crazy magical name. Interesting song. Yeah, that one. But go check that out. But we are now at Spice King, which is a segment where each week the crew will decide which song reigns supreme. The Soju chart will be evaluated in terms of song quality, spice, and listener fatigue. Songs that place number 1 on the Soju chart will be declared this week Spice King. So last week...
I have a announcement to make.
Oh yeah, make an announcement.
I have an announcement to make. Last week, the chart results was Taeyeon on first, with What Do I Call You. Rain JYP was switched to me on second, and Twice Cry For Me on third. Now, people on the Discord were like, Warren, this looks a little funky. I did some math, and the votes aren't adding up. I did some underground investigation. Turns out, the horrible country of Herald was involved in a vote fraud scheme, if you will, and turns out they manipulated the results. So I mean, that's what happened, guys.
You didn't explain literally at all what happened. All right, what really happened was that Taeyeon and Rain X JYP ended up with the same score. We calculated it incorrectly.
Yes,
but we decided to just leave everything the same because the Taeyeon song had the most first place votes. So
yeah,
there was a bit of
Harold
an
is.
It wasn't Harold. It was me, you idiot. So
Harold is arrested. We have put him in jail.
God,
justice prevails, boys.
You're just confused. You're just confusing everyone. But basically, all you gotta know is there was a little bit oof in the calculation, but it had no consequence on what happened. So the winner last week was Taeyeon's "What Do I Call You," and she picked up her first crown. But this week, our candidates. I mean, you were just really vague. The candidates are MCND's "Crush," Treasure's "My Treasure," VICTON's "What I Said," and G-IDLE's HWAA. So I'm gonna go first.
All right.
I was debating throwing out all the songs on the chart this week.
Oh my god!
Oh wow!
Because they've been out for so long now. That was kind of my logic. I only kept one of the 3 songs actually this week. So in first place, I want Treasure's "My Treasure."
Oh.
I really want that in first.
Okay.
Oh wow!
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
In second place, I want to demote Queen Taeyeon down to second place with "What Do I Call You." I want that in second place. And in third place, I'm going to make a game time decision, and I want to put G-IDLE's HWAA. Even though I'm a little bit confused about that song, I still really like it.
Okay.
Did that mess everything? All right, did that mess everything up or something?
I mean, we don't know yet. I don't know what Anita has.
Okay.
Why don't you go next, Anita?
Okay, so for me, I coincide with Doug for first place because I wanted Treasure in first place as well.
Okay.
Yes, very beautiful music video. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. For second, I feel like it's still pretty much the same for me. It's still gonna be Rain. JYP switched to me. I just really like the New Jack Swing style. Sorry, it's retro still in for me. And for third, I wanna. Yeah, okay. I feel like even though it's been a while since this song came out, I still feel like it's still probably the more re-listenable in comparison to the ones that we've covered this week. So I want to put Taeyeon's "What Do I Call You" in third.
Okay. Fair.
So yes.
All right. What about you, Warren?
Haven't changed much from last week. Let's begin there.
Okay.
I'm keeping Taeyeon on first.
Taeyeon. Okay.
Okay.
Taeyeon first.
Great song, wonderful song. I'm keeping Rain JYP switch to me on second. I still dig the song. Still
fair.
Solendami likey. Third was a close game. It was a very close game between two groups. Between MCND and Treasure.
Whew.
Oh,
But if I had to think about those two songs and which I liked more, I really have to say I enjoyed MCND's Crush a lot. Sorry, by a little margin more than Treasure.
Yes. Okay.
By a tiny margin. I know they're not going to make it to the charts at this point because I'm the only one who mentioned them. But I mean, what can I say?
Okay, I calculated them up. Warren, you calculate them too. Make sure I'm not wrong this week.
I didn't write down what.
Okay, I'll explain why I think it is what it is. Right. So Treasure has 6 points because Anita and I both put it in first place.
Correct. That's what I have to.
So
Yes.
they are 6 points with 2 first place votes. Okay, let's just say that. Second place, I believe it is Taeyeon because I put her in second. Anita put her in third, and Warren put her in first.
Right. Okay.
So she has 6 points with 1 first place vote. Right.
Yes.
Right.
And then the third place, I believe it is Rain x JYP because both of you put them in second place.
Correct. That's 4 points.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
That's 4.
So we have a tie for first, is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, but if we're going on what we did last week, first place votes, fam. It's true, right? That's our new tiebreaker.
It's true.
Wow.
Okay.
Yo, Treasure's going to win an award here before they actually win a music show in real life. So just know, we were on the Treasure hype train before the general public. Just know that. So, it seems like the Soju chart for episode 121. In first place, Treasure's My Treasure picking up their first crown. So shout out to Treasure. Woo! Second place, we have Taeyeon's What Do I Call You? And in third place, we have Rain x JYP Switch to Me. That music video is still bonkers. I watch it all the time. But finally, we're at show winners. Anita, hit us with them.
All right. So the 2 big winners for this week were BTS and Kyungso. So BTS Dynamite had his 30th win in Music Bank, which is crazy. 30th win. I think they beat. Oh no, they're getting to the record of 31 wins from Shin Sung-hoon, Invincible Love. Correct.
No, Invisible.
Right?
Invisible.
Okay.
Yeah. So
yes, so that was the big win.
What Anita's trying to say is Dynamite's at 30 wins, right?
Yes.
If it wins one more time, it is tied with the all-time record for all songs at 31 wins. So they have 30 right now. Shin Sung-hoon's Invisible Love has 31 wins, and that song came out back in 1992. So that's how old this record is.
Oh my goodness.
All right, Anita, Life Goes On. What did they win?
Yes, Life Goes On also had his 8th win on Show Music Core. So another big win for BTS. And then on Inkigayo, Kyungso had a song called Shiny Star 2020 with its first win. And there's a very interesting background to this because it's actually a remake, I believe.
Yeah, so it's apparently a remake of a very popular Psy World song. So Psy World is essentially Korean MySpace. And this song has been charting extremely well since its release back in November. And what this song is more or less that I don't know who decided to, but people are remaking the songs that were popular on Cyworld. Similar to how on MySpace you got to set profile songs. This was one of the big songs on Cyworld. But there are rumors and there are sajegi allegations against this song because of how well it's charting, and this person is like extremely unknown. So it's hard to tell.
Let's hope not.
It's the fastest a no-name artist went to the upper parts of a chart. It's the fastest record we've seen. So I mean,
that being said, it's actually really good. Like it's really good. Yeah. So you know, the fact that BTS is still winning these music shows with these songs is absolutely crazy.
Dynamite, man.
I honestly, at this point, I just want to see them. Just guys, listen to Dynamite for the next week. Let them win 2 shows just so they get the record. Like, come on, just do it.
Is 32 gonna be the all-time record?
Yes, for all songs ever with these music shows.
Boy,
in history,
they're close.
Man.
They're close.
Making history after history.
Yep. But I think that wraps up part 1. So we are at the end of part 1 of SojuTalk episode 121. We'll be back after a short break. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, SojuTalk Nation. This is Anita here with a quick PSA. If you would like to support SojuTalk Kpop Podcast, please like, subscribe, or follow us on whatever platform you're using, and consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/SojuTalk or donating to us at paypal.me/SojuTalk. On behalf of the crew and myself, thank you. Now back to our regularly scheduled episode.
We are back at it with part 2 of SojuTalk episode 121, where we discuss recent K-pop news and events, have a visit from Cousin Harold, and give you the state of the nation. Alright, news and events from last week. This first one's like kind of sad, let's be real about it. So, GOT7's disbandment and legacy. So we're basically, we'll talk about GOT7 and their overall legacy at the end, but we're going to give a timeline of events this week, because a lot of stuff happened. So, it started on January 5th. Spot TV, I believe, news reported that GOT7's Yu-Kyung will be joining AOMG once his contract expires with JYP. This happened right after we finished recording last week's episode on a Tuesday, so we were like shocked, like AOMG, what's going on? And this news was coming off of reports in late December that Jin Young will be joining BH Entertainment. That is not Big Hit Entertainment. There is an acting agency called BH, so that's that. So in December, we heard rumors that Jin Young might be joining BH, and then we had new rumors that Yu-Kyung will be joining AOMG, and this is a big deal because GOT7's contracts, because they're in their 7th year, were ending. We then had some tea. So fans noticed that Bam Bam had deleted all posts with JYP on his SNS accounts, some dating back to 2014. Warren, stop highlighting things because I can't read then. Additionally, a netizen posted, quote, JYP unfollowed Jin Young, Bam Bam, and Mark on IG, and Bam Bam responded with a shrugging gif. So there was tea there. It seems like all wasn't quiet on the Western Front there. So then yesterday on December 10th, this is when the big stuff happened. Dispatch, and you know, as much as we don't like Dispatch, they're fairly accurate with what they report. They shared that GOT7 planned to not renew contracts with JYP Entertainment following contract expirations. It was also noted that GOT7's appearance at the 35th Golden Disc Awards would be the group's last activity until their contracts end. And that was happening like that day, yesterday. They're like, they're gonna perform and that's it.
Right.
It was to the extent that Dispatch also listed plans for each member going forward. That's how much they had dug into this. So Jin Young, he is in discussions with BH Entertainment for acting. Yu-Kyung is in discussions with AOMG. Youngjae is in discussions with Sublime Artist Agency. JB plans to work as a soloist and has received calls from multiple agencies. Jackson will focus on Team Wang, which is his own thing, and will be working in China and Korea. Bam Bam will be working in Thailand and Korea. And then finally, Mark plans to return back to the US and open up YouTube/Twitch channels, but also will have some activities as a solo artist. And a lot of these things have sort of been confirmed down the line since then. So most of these agencies that they're talking to stated, yeah, we're in discussions, but nothing's confirmed. So they're basically acknowledging, yeah, it's happening. And then Mark's brother, who plays, so Mark and his brother have played with Offline TV, which is a very popular group of streamers in the United States. So his brother was streaming, and he said, yeah, Mark's going to come home. He's going to spend some time with family, but he will be working on music. So pretty much confirmed everything we need to hear. At the time, though, JYP Entertainment stated that it is currently difficult to verify any of the recent news and that they would share complete details once everything had been confirmed. So that was yesterday, right? Today, on December 11th, Korean time, JYP stated that GOT7 will indeed be leaving the company following contract expirations on January 19th with no renewals from any members. All 7 of them are leaving. In terms of GOT7, they debuted back in 2013 with Girls, Girls, Girls and are best known for hits such as If You Do, Fly, Hard Carry, Never Ever, You Are, Lullaby, Eclipse, Not By the Moon, and most recently Breathe and Last Piece. And they have 32 music show wins and 2 day songs. All right. a lot to process, right?
Yeah.
I have kind of mixed feelings about this. Obviously, it's sad that we're losing one of the pillar groups, I would say. They've been around for a long time.
Yes.
Particularly for Western fans, we're pretty big on GOT7 as a whole. That being said, I'm kind of happy for the members too, because how often do artists have agency over their own careers? Right? Clearly, because none of them are renewing, they were not completely happy with the JYP situation, or alternatively, they were just kind of done doing the group thing, right? And I know that it's sad as fans of their group that's that they're not going to officially promote as 7 under JYP. I'm not saying never on they're not going to promote together, but it's highly unlikely based on precedent as what we've seen in the industry. That being said, I'm happy that each kid gets to pretty much decide what they want to do at this point. They're all relatively young still. Just kind of sucks that they're ending after the first contract, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like as someone who was there from debut, right? So like I was really into GOT7 back in their debut days with Girls, Girls, Girls. And I don't know, I think it's very true what Doug mentioned, that in the Western audience, the more international sphere, they were very, very big, I think. I don't know if in comparison to their more domestic market, but I think for sure fans are a little disappointed that it's not going a little bit longer. Like I think everybody would like it to be a little bit longer, but at the end of the day, I don't know, I feel like I hope they've reached a point where it's amicable terms between all of them, like still friendly, like willing to maybe work together down the line if they ever want to, because that's still a possibility. But I'm also glad that they are able to just do something new, because I think maybe it can be a little bit restricting to just be doing group promotions or to be kind of directed by a company what to do. So I think it can be a good thing.
What you got to think. I like to think about it this way, right? Like, if this is a book, the book's not over. This is where the chapter ends, and then there's chapter 2 or 3 or whatever chapter this is in their lives. Some of these companies that they're signing with, very top tier companies.
They're top tier.
Right. Talk about Sublime Company, for example. You know who's in Sublime?
It's Rain, right?
Rain is in Sublime. Yeah. Guys, you guys know Song Kang-ho from Parasite?
Yeah.
He's there. It's
you know who's
really
in
big company.
You know who's in
actors.
BH? Lee Jung-jae.
Right.
Wow. So these are big agencies that they're talking to.
Some big, yeah.
Obviously, AOMG is massive too, right? Like,
yes.
Right. And you know, Jackson has this thing going on already, and that was already pretty exciting to see.
It is, honestly, I'm going to, like, my opinion is that it makes sense for some of these people wanting to go off on their own. Like,
right.
We have to remember that JYP as a company is extremely group centric. Like,
right.
Yes.
Their track record with pure solo artists is not good, right? They're not great about that. And a lot of these guys, like, probably at this point, they've been trainees for like 3-4 years. They want to go off and do their own thing. And I think that's fair. They've clearly made a ton of money from being in GOT7, right? They had a great run, right? An awesome run. And I think we should be happy that we even got that run and then look to the future and be happy for them that way.
Right.
I also say, like, if you think about people like Jackson and Bam Bam, there's so much money to be made outside of Korea for them.
A lot of possibilities.
So much.
Yes. Finally.
Like, even just that alone for me is justified, wanting to do your own thing. Because there's so much potential for there. You know, I'm pretty sure I saw JJ Project back in the day.
Oh, you did?
So JJ Project, for those of you who don't know, was the precursor to GOT7, right?
Yes.
It was JB and Jin Young. They did their own thing in 2012, right?
Bounce.
Right.
Yes.
Bounce, that song. When I was in Korea, in like July, August of 2012. I know Bounce was in May, right? Either I saw them at the Inkigayo practice stage or their posters were all over the place. I think it might have been the latter, but they were actively promoting when I was in Korea. And I remember them being like, who are these guys? They're JYP. Oh. and then I was like, and then I saw that it didn't really work out. And I was like, oh. And then 2014, I was like, oh, those are the dudes from that thing.
Yes.
Right? And I've seen their whole career essentially at this point. I feel like a bit of a boomer there, but you know, it is what it is. It's interesting though. I have very mixed feelings about this. I'm happy, but I'm a little bit sad. In terms of their legacy now, let's talk about big picture, where we feel what GOT7's legacy is. I honestly feel that GOT7, if they were in a little bit of a different era, things would be a little bit different. What I mean is GOT7, I think, will be remembered for having such a big international following. It was like they were one of the I wouldn't say they were one of the first groups to get mainstream international success, but they were really notable for how big people liked them outside of Korea, I would say.
Yeah.
Right.
And now in 2020, 2012, 2021, if we don't have COVID, the international game is what people are banking on right now. That's the big expedition. If GOT7 was like peaking right now, it would be massive. They would be making so much money, I think. That being said, I think a lot of people also think that with JYP, they weren't super utilized in the second half of the GOT7 run. I kind of agree with that. Little things like I heard some people saying, I talked to some of the fans of GOT7 on our Discord server. They were saying like it's kind of hard to get their albums on like Amazon and English speaking sites. They don't really subtitle a lot of their stuff as they do with other groups in JYP. I can see where the frustrations lie, right? For sure. Overall, though, I think that their run from like 2015 to 2017 was really strong. If You Do, Fly, Hard Carry, Never Ever, You Are, all of those songs were really big in Korea. They had a great front run. And then even with the second run, sort of like Lullaby, Eclipse, You Calling My Name, I thought that second run was also really strong, personally.
Very solid,
Yes.
very solid.
I think I honestly think the second run is really underrated in terms of how people view it.
Lullaby, man.
Yeah,
Great song.
they had some great songs there.
Personally, I really thought the songs on the second half were like very solid. Whereas the first part felt, it definitely felt a lot more like general public friendly.
If you remember,
carry.
Their concept initially started was like hip hop with acrobatics was the
Right,
Yes.
that was their thing.
and then they went pure like hip hop, and then they branched out more and got more mature with their sound, right?
Right. There definitely was a strong progression, and it didn't feel like it was forced, and that was really enjoyable.
Yeah, and I honestly feel like at a certain point around like 2017, 2016 was when JYP started to throw all their eggs into the Twice basket, for sure. And then they still did their own thing. They were doing well, and then Stray Kids came along, and shiny new toy syndrome. That's not Twice or Stray Kids' fault. That's just kind of how the business works, right?
Right.
It is what it is, and I think it is completely fair to be frustrated with how they were treated towards the end. We never know what goes on behind the scenes in terms of the business or what people are saying, but at least in terms of the general public viewing, like us as fans just looking in, it was like, come on, they have so much hype. We need to be capitalizing on this. Where's like the world tours and stuff like that, right? Where's the big push? Because despite all of that, last year, they still were the 7th highest selling boy group. 750,000 albums.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh man.
So they were
big
the
numbers.
thing that I think is a little tragic is they were 100% still commercially viable at this point.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
I think that's a bit of a shame there. I was also thinking in my head, like, where do I place them all time in boy groups, right? That was something that I was thinking today, and I started making lists. I would confidently say they are at worst like top 10 to top 15 boy group all time. And the only reason I said that is because I made a list of groups that I think had probably a little bit better career than them. So I'm talking like BTS, SHINee, Super Junior, EXO, TVXQ, Big Bang, and then the old guys, GOD, HOT, Shinhwa, and then Beast was another one I put in that list. That being said, I think you could make an argument for them being like towards the tail end of the top 10. I think.
I think that is definitely. I definitely agree with you, especially given the fact that they were almost early for their times with how they interacted with a more international English-speaking audience.
Yeah.
And
that's
that,
true.
Right, and I think things might have been a lot different. But I mean, we've already said that, so I'm not going to.
Overall, though, like GOT7's music's just fun to listen to, and
Yeah.
Great.
even the last two songs, "Breathe" and "Last Piece," we were like simping over the music video.
Yes, it was
Right,
so
right,
good.
Right? I was thinking, like, I remember us talking about that. We're like, bro, I can't wait to see what they do next with that style that they're going with. A bit of a shame there, honestly.
Yeah.
To be fair, they are victims of the 7-year curse now, right?
Yes.
Yep.
So if you don't know what that is, typically in K-pop, the first contracts end up being about 7 years. And there's this quote-unquote curse where groups either disband or have big disruptions in their 7th year. So in terms of groups that have been affected, 21, 4 Minutes, Sistar, Miss A, Kara, Wonder Girls, Rainbow, like those are groups that either disbanded or lost members. Girls' Generation lost Jessica in year 7. AOA lost members. In terms of guy groups, it's primarily in girl groups, but also in guy groups. TVXQ, the split up happened in the 7th year.
Yes.
EXO, I know they had some contract disputes with the Chinese members earlier, but there was also some in year 7. Super Junior, BAP, Infinite lost Hoya in year 7. A lot of things happen once contracts are up, right? That's the business side of
Yeah.
things.
Right.
Overall, though, like, bittersweet, right? Like,
Right.
I'm happy and I'm thankful for what they gave us. I think we should celebrate their accomplishments, but at the same time, it's like, man, I wish they gave us a little bit more, or JYP did a little bit more in that regard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little underwhelming.
Yeah, towards the end, right?
Yeah.
With what, and it's not even their fault. It's just like what the hand,
no,
the cards they were dealt.
Right.
Other things I'm looking at though, 2014 groups that debuted then, right?
Oh man.
Oh.
7 year. These are some of the groups that people are speculative about because we haven't heard about renewals or anything. Akmu, Hotshot, Laboom, Lovelyz, Mamamoo, Red Velvet Winter.
Oh boy.
I ain't gonna make any predictions. Let's just say some of those groups are in worse positions than others for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Akmu, I made a prediction about in the prediction.
Oh yeah, you
episode.
did.
I did.
Yeah. It's another one of those things with boy groups where there's this thing in K-pop where guy group longevity is very different than girl group longevity for
Yes.
whatever reason. Girl groups fall off quicker for some reason. Even though guy groups have to go to Gundae, the fandoms are stronger inherently. It is what it is, right?
Unfortunately.
Well,
That's why you see a lot of these groups with the Ajashi still killing it, right? Like, it's true though. It's literally true though. It is. We'll have to see though. I'm very excited for the GOT7 members. A lot of these solo
Yes.
stuff seem fun.
Best of luck.
yeah,
best of luck to all of
they're
them.
doing good stuff, though.
Stan GOT7, they had a great run. All right, second main topic, Golden Disc Awards. So the Golden Disc Awards held their 35th annual ceremony across January 9th and 10th to commemorate some of the biggest releases in K-pop, in Korean music in 2020, not just K-pop. In terms of the big awards, so we're not going to be covering all of them, but on day one, it was digital awards, essentially. So digital stuff, not the physical stuff. Song of the Year Daesang went to IU's Blooming. So shout out to IU.
Oh.
That was a little bit
out.
controversial in its own right because of how old that song is, right? Like
It's been a while, yes.
that one came out,
Yeah.
I think, in November of 2019. I want to say.
I thought it was December.
Was it December? All right, it was either November or December. And
okay.
then the song Bonsang, which is pretty much like Excellency Awards, went to Blackpink's How You Like That, BTS's Dynamite, HWAA's Maria, ITZY's Wannabe, IU's Blooming, Mamamoo's Hip, Noel's Late Night, Oh My Girl's Nonstop, Red Velvet Psycho, and Zico's Any Song. And then Best Rookie Artist went to ENHYPEN, Treasure, and Kim Ho-jung, which I believe is a trot artist. And then some notable genre awards included Best R&B and Hip Hop Award went to Changmo, Best Solo Artist went to Jessie, Best Trot Award went to Im Young-un, and then Best Ballad Award went to Lee Seung-gi. Warren, there was some tea with this one, right?
Just a little bit. And I don't want to throw shade at anybody, but the top 10 Bonsang artists, they were supposed to be 60% based on the amount of digital sales they had, and then 40% judge panel evaluation. And the controversy that happened a little bit was with Changmo, who came in third on the yearly chart with his track Meteor or
Great
Meteo,
song.
or depending on how I say it. And then people are saying that's a little strange, because if you look at the raw numbers, I don't have the raw numbers pulled up here, but if you look at the raw numbers, unless Changmo had literally negative numbers, it's not that you can't have him not on the top 10 list when ITZY is on the list. Because ITZY's Wannabe was at 19th place of the entire year, if I remember correctly. Still a great song. But somewhat suspicious, if you know what I mean. So
yeah, there was a lot more tea this year with this award show than normally.
Yeah.
All right, day 2 was the album division. So album of the year went to BTS's Map of the Soul 7. I don't think that was a surprise to anyone. Like, that sold so many copies. The album Bonsang, or their Excellency Award, the albums were Baekhyun's Delight, Blackpink's The Album, BTS's Map of the Soul 7, EXO's Obsession, GOT7's Do. Shout out to GOT7 there. Yay. NCT, the first one they got was NCT 2020 Resonance Part 1, and then NCT 127 Neozone also got one. Then we had 17's Hengre, Twice's More and More, and then TXT's The Dream Chapter Eternity. And then the Best Rookie Artist, I don't know if that was a legitimate rookie award, but they gave... Wait, what did they have there? Oh no, I needed to delete this one because they didn't give that. All right, cool. That was that was the day 1 award. So there was some kind of rookie thing, but it wasn't of that much consequence. Okay. I also heard a little bit of tea for this.
Really?
The IZ*ONE fandom was not happy in terms of album sales.
Yeah.
Because they're like, we sold a lot, but the counter argument was we sold a lot, but it was kind of spread out across many releases. Not one. So
okay,
that was there. But I felt like IZ*ONE sold a lot of stuff. So, well, I don't know what's going on. It just felt like what I was seeing, there was a lot more tea than normal with this award show. Because normally this is a very legitimate, like, black and white, objective award show.
Right, it's supposed to be one of the more objective award shows. So that's what's a little shady. It's not looking good.
It is what it is, though. Like, actually, I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what kind of points I'm trying to make.
Congrats to the winners, though.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah.
I also wrote down here, congrats to all the winners. If you would like to see the full list of winners, you can look them up online, because you could just Google Golden Disc Awards 2021 and it will come up. All right, quick takes. This one's bananas. Mnet announces girl group project Girls Planet 999.
What?
For aspiring idols with connections to South Korea, China, and Japan. They mean global in you need to have some kind of relationship with either Korea, China, and Japan, whether that's residency, the agency you're under, or some kind of connection, etc.
Okay, that's a little vague.
So global as in East Asia, apparently.
Yeah,
right?
global meaning not that far.
So the bigger news out of that, number one, Mnet doing another project show. Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, Island was cool though. But
yes,
Universe, the new global K-pop platform developed by game company NCSoft, will partner with the program, Girls Planet 999, and provide the official platform for the show. Along with the global voting system for the final debut lineup, Universe will hold various digital content and services for fans. Universe itself, though, has already reached 2 million pre-registrations.
Oh my
2
gosh.
million oh my god.
All right, what do we feel about
People that like K-pop. Oh my
what do we feel about Mnet getting another survival show? All of a sudden.
I don't trust them, Ned. I'm just gonna say it. I don't trust them. If I had a kid and they were like, Dad, I'm gonna go on this new Mnet show, I'm gonna be like, no. I'll do anything to get you into an actual company. Mnet.
Well, yeah, we don't really know if they're like trainees or like independent.
True,
or
yeah.
There's really not much news out there. At least with Island, we knew that the big hit had like the control over it, so we can trust them. If it's just Mnet and Universe, which is off of a video game company, who knows what's gonna happen, right? Like, it could be crazy. The second one in, I would say, horrendous news, like ridiculous news. So MLD Entertainment share that they will be taking strong legal action against those sharing recent malicious images of Momoland's Nancy online. I don't want to harp on this too long or explain it too much, but the TLDR is someone took and spread images of Nancy changing at the AAA Awards, I believe back in 2019, that edition of that award show. It's ridiculous. Right?
Why? Just no.
Yeah. It's bad too, because you know how the internet is, everyone.
Yeah.
Apparently they think it was one of their staff members, is the current
I
thought.
hope they get fired. They
think they spread it to a small community, and then obviously from there it has a exponential spread, you know?
I hope firing is where they begin.
Oh no, there's going to be full legal action. They're going to sue everyone. So that's
stupid.
terrible. All right, next. In just 21 days, aespa's Black Mamba is now the fastest K-pop group debut music video to hit 100 million views.
Oh.
You know,
aespa.
I have been watching the aespa side content.
Yes.
They seem like really nice kids. They seem like they're
Yes.
I particularly like Winter and Karina. Just saying.
Nice.
Okay.
All right, next. Blackpink's Jennie will reportedly replace... Oh, I missed this one. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Before we talk about Jennie, shout out to Jennie. But this dropped about an hour before we recorded. CJ E&M is reportedly in discussions with IZ*ONE member agencies about the possibility of extending contracts. But it is reported that they have yet to talk to all of the agencies involved.
There's possibilities, not quite confirmed, but possibilities.
Someone might have made a prediction of an IZ*ONE Light potentially maybe happening at some point.
Oh.
Okay. I mean, okay. I wouldn't bet on it happening because there are so many companies involved with different plans between all of them. But now, if we make the assumption, I'm going to make a brave assumption and say people make smart decisions. They should extend.
Okay, the in terms of the business though, the big problem is I think CJ takes like somewhere between 40 and 60% off the top. That's why the groups that result from Produce never last too long, is because they take so much. If CJ was out of the picture and the agencies, let's say I have 2 kids in the group out of 12 and I take a sixth of the money, then they would probably be willing to do it. Like, no problem, right?
Right.
But the fact that CJ takes so much off the top is the main problem with that. But if they extend the contract, I think a lot of these companies who have 1 or 2 kids and don't have really solid plans or bright future like outlooks on what's going to happen with their kid are looking at this and like, it's probably in our best interest to extend.
Right.
That being said, nothing is confirmed. It is speculative, but at the same time, rumors don't just pop out of nowhere, right? There's some things going on here. All right, going back to Jennie though, Blackpink's Jennie will reportedly replace Suzy as the model for 처음처럼 Soju. She's following the lineage of that brand from Ihyori to Suzy to Jennie now.
Oh wow.
That signals a lot, right? Like
yeah.
I know the other brand, Chanmisul, went IU Suzy IU was the latest thing.
Yep.
But getting a solo ad for soju is a big deal in Korea.
It's a big deal.
Funny story, when I was in Korea, there were Irene billboards and signs and cutouts all over the place. I was very close to stealing some. Not gonna lie.
But you didn't. But you didn't.
That's how like if you walk near any restaurant, you walk near any like food area, there's tons of sign of these advertisements. Or the Seohyun one, right? There's so many ads of these soju CFs and stuff going on. It is a big deal. A lot of money involved in that.
You know.
Go.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
No, go.
You know who was recently a big limited edition 처음처럼 model?
Who? All right, I'm gonna keep moving on. Additionally, BTS will reportedly replace Park Seo-joon as the new model for Cloud Beer. In terms of guys, that's a big one there. So guys do beer, girls do soju. That's kind of the trend. Finally, Anita, Blackpink's Lisa is confirmed to return as the dance mentor for Youth With You Season 3.
Oh. Wow.
All right, you know what the problem is? Just say it. It's going to be a guy season. God damn it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, so I am on the fence if I'm going to watch it. Just say it.
Just watch it for Lisa then.
I know. I'm really big into Blackpink. I should probably support my girl Lisa Manabal,
That's
you know?
true.
There you go.
All right, I'll at least check out the first episode. I'll give you that. In terms of groups that announce comebacks, Cherry Bullet, January 20th. Where is Rocket Punch? Because normally when Cherry Bullet comes back, Rocket Punch does. Dreamcatcher, December 26th. IU, pre-release, January 27th. She announced at the Golden Discords when accepting her daesang, I'm releasing music in January. And then a couple days later, they announced exactly when. Hyuna, January 28th. Super Junior, February 16th, and then SHINee and CIX also in February.
Yes.
SHINee's back. All right, State of the Nation. Last night in our group chat, I was like, guys, what do you want to talk about in State of the Nation? Warren responded, bidets. And I was
I am concerned.
So
where is this going?
Why are you concerned?
I heard there's a bidet story. Hit us with that.
I mean, it's not really a story because I had I wanted to understand American people and culture a little more, you know, like.
You know what? Splash us with this discussion, sure.
Right?
Sir, I mean.
Clearly a lot of toilet references today. Because Doug, you've been to Korea. Anita, you've been to Korea.
Yeah.
And I've been to Korea, obviously, as well. And I remember, like, when I was traveling last year with my friends, the first thing my friends noticed when we got to Incheon International Airport, right? We got to Incheon International Airport. We all have to pee and poop really bad. So, you go to the restroom. What is the thing they noticed? Why are there buttons next to the toilet? They didn't know what they were. Right. And I was like, oh, those are bidets. And they're like, oh, that's a bidet. And then, like, over the time we were in Korea and Japan, they try it. Some people don't like it. Some people fall in love at first sight with the water splashing up their bottoms. And then I'm thinking, why don't Americans use bidets? Why is it not a thing here? You know, and then like last week. So I'm actually moving at the end of this month, right? My lease is up. I was apartment hunting last week, and then I actually saw one apartment with the bidet. And I was like, what is going on here? Like this, the apartment prices are like very much lower than what they were like a year ago because of, the virus. And I was lucky enough to see some nice apartments, and one of them had a bidet, and I was like, yo, like this, what happened here? And then my brother was like, yo, I think a Asian person lived here before, and then they installed it and just left it behind. So my question is, do American people know what bidets are? And like, how do you guys feel about them?
American people know what bidets are because we've seen movies and stuff, and they're generally used in like comedy motifs, right?
Yes.
Are they? Okay.
I don't think there's a definitive reason. It's just culturally, they're not very prevalent here. I don't know why, though, to be honest.
Not sure either.
They're like God's gift. This is like the best invention.
I think at least Americans mostly assume bidets are like a European thing initially, I would say, but they are also very prevalent, like a French thing or something, right? I'm not crazy with that. I swear, it's like some kind
Sounds
of
like a French
thing.
word.
The
Yeah,
word,
yeah.
maybe, yeah.
Yeah, but they're also prevalent in Asia. I had never used the bidet till I went to Korea the first time.
Right. Okay.
Oh, big disclaimer. Koreans like to talk about bathroom talk way more than Americans do. Like I don't. Yes, dude.
What are you talking about?
No, like literally. Have you ever heard Americans talk about their bathroom habits? No, Koreans do openly though.
Okay, I mean, like, not all Koreans do either. You can't assume that all Koreans do just because I do.
No. Straight variety shows, they talk about bathroom and bodily functions all the time, fam. It's not talked about in America.
It's because they think it's funny. That's what it is.
It's not talked about in America. Do
Right,
you agree,
okay.
Anita, with that though?
I would say so. I feel like
Yeah.
there's
see?
references in dramas as well too that I feel like, I wouldn't not have expected this.
It's how students greet each other in the morning. They're like, "Have you pooped well this morning? Have you?"
like you even saying something like that, like Americans don't say that. Period.
We're just honest. That's what it is.
Cultural difference, yeah.
Let's go back to it. All right.
Okay.
I never used a bidet in my life until I went to Korea the first time. I used it. I'm like, this makes so much more sense. It's so much more hygienic. Right?
Yeah.
I know it's a little bit weird. You're like, oh, what the hell's going on? When you start, you might turn on the eternal fan that actually dries you, but all you're doing then is you're blowing smell everywhere. It's a big old mess. But you know, it works. Overall though, I don't know why Americans don't have more bidets. Well, that being said, America and bathrooms is just really bad combination. For one,
Right.
our stalls in America have gigantic gaps and you could see into them from the outside.
Yeah.
Right? That's
That
something's
always-
wrong with that.
Yeah.
At the University of Michigan, if you go to the MLB
Oh my
building,
goodness.
the Modern Languages building, there is this one bathroom where the doors are half size. You know what I'm talking about, right, Warren?
Yeah.
There's
Wait,
one
what?
MLB.
There's
a whole
one
bunch more.
bathroom on like the
Angel Hall.
second or third floor where it's a relic of the past where they decided that the bathroom doors are going to be like 3 to 4 feet off the ground.
Right. Like if I'm standing, like it comes down to like my waist, like this
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
That's not my
What?
waist, but you get the idea, right?
There's
Like,
one bathroom there that is like that, and it is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Right. I know. I've talked about. So Anita's not gonna get this because I've talked about this with my female friends. And they were like, "No, that's not the case." Actually, I've been inside the. I've been inside the female's bathroom in. Angel Hall.
Why?
Why?
We were filming. I was a part of the fashion magazine. One of the
Okay.
fashion magazine student organizations.
I'm sure you were, fam.
No, I'm being serious. There's a thing called Shea Magazine,
Okay.
in University of Michigan, and I filmed a video for them, and I wasn't part of the planning meeting whatsoever. But they texted me. They were like, "Okay, meet us at Angel Hall. We're gonna film there." And I was like, "Okay, whatever. That's cool." So I go with my camera, and they're like, "Okay, we're gonna film inside the restroom," and I'm like, "I'm the only guy here." Like, why? Like, so it was a little awkward. It was not by choice. I want to put that out
Well,
there.
I feel like with those parameters, though, it's reasonable. As long as someone's out on watch at the outside, you know,
Yes,
that kind
it
of
was-
thing.
Right.
That being said, going back to bidets and stuff, I get bidets that are built in, but there's another thing in other places in Southeast Asia. There's like a hose next to the toilet, right?
'Cause that's a little funky.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I get why it's the similar thing, right? But my problem is, I'm just crazy. So if you're from Southeast Asia, you're probably laughing at us now, right? I don't get how I'm supposed to shoot the water and not make like a mess. You know what I mean? Like
I
at
have
least
a
with a
hose.
bidet,
Right.
it's controlled. Like it just go in here. Deal, right?
Right.
But the hose, too much control for me, fam. I don't know what's gonna happen.
I feel like it's gonna hit like my
Everything.
Other part. Yeah.
Water's just gonna go everywhere, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I don't understand either.
That being said, since Warren was like, we're gonna talk about bidets a little. Anita, what do you feel about bidets, real quick?
I know that they exist. I know their purpose. I feel like they can be useful, right? Like hygiene wise. Not too familiar with them, but I can see why some people are a fan of them. If you are used to them, I think I agree with Doug. I don't understand why, but they're not.
It's like
something common in the
it's
U.S.
so taboo in the U.S. too.
Yeah, I feel like it's not talked about. I don't think I've seen one here in the U.S. ever before. So it's really surprising that you found one in an apartment, but.
It was definitely not as bougie as the Asian bidets, because like if you like, I remember like my Airbnb in Japan had this where like there was like
heated seat, dude.
Right. You could heat the seat up
your
so
butt?
that when you
it's so nice. It's so nice.
I know. Like, okay, think about this, because like I poop in the mornings, right? That's what people do. You wake up, do your thing. And think about a cold winter morning. You do it on the toilet. It's cold. It's like freaky. But like, imagine if it was a warm seat. Like that is like, and you can control the temperature on that thing. Oh my goodness, like buddy, like
there's just more technology, I guess, to that specific.
The only place
area.
I've seen a bidet in the U.S. is at like what's the name of it? There's this place in northern New Jersey near Fort Lee where it's Mitsuwa. It's like a food court / they sell Japanese and Asian products. I've seen bidets there where they sell them. Other than that, not really. But I'm going to transition into something else. Okay. About
I could keep talking about bidets.
60 to 70% of our listener base is female, right? Do the females in the audience know that there is a code of ethics between males in terms of urinal usage?
So specific.
No, literally though, right, Warren? Like there's an ethical code.
There's an unspoken rule.
All right, here's some baseline rules, Anita, right? You do not make eye contact in the bathroom. Number 2,
okay.
Even if Warren and I are friends, if there are other males around, we do not talk to each other in the bathroom. It's a little bit taboo there, right?
You don't do that.
Number 3, of course, you do not look at anyone else's members. That's the biggest no-no. You're gonna get your ass kicked if you do that. But the code of ethics I'm talking about is, urinals exist for males, right? We could stand and go. Anita, suppose there is 4 urinals on the wall, right?
Okay.
There is a code of ethics in place that males learn without being taught about where you should stand in the urinal, right? The main thing is you want to stand as far as possible away from the other males in the bathroom, Anita. If I walk in, I actually looked this up. There's an article on this too.
I kind of disagree with that article. Well, that rule. Because
let's put it this way.
You finish your sentence first. I'll do mine in a second.
If I walk into the restroom, Anita, right, and all the actually, it's easier with 5 urinals. Let's say there's 5 urinals, right, Anita?
Okay.
We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If I walk into the restroom, I will 100%, unless there's some germ issue or it's dirty, whatever, I will stand in urinal 1 or number 5.
Good.
Okay.
Because I am going to try to make it as least awkward for everyone else. Let's say now I'm the second bro who walks in, and there's a homie at number 5, right? I will either stand, I think 1 is the most preferable, but you could also stand in number 3.
Okay.
Does that make sense so far, right?
Yes.
What we're trying to do here is we're trying to keep space between dudes, right? Yeah. Imagine I'm standing at number 5, right? Homie walks in when the other 4 are open and stands at number 4. He is a maniac, this guy.
Kill that guy.
Like, literally insane if you do this, right? Like, that is such a big no-no. If I'm in number 5 and you stood in number 4, it's crazy. I think the only time maybe you stand in number 4 is if there are dividers. Because, Anita, if you didn't know this, sometimes urinals have dividers and blockers in between them. Sometimes they don't.
Nice.
Additionally, if you go to like a nightclub, sometimes there's just a trough with ice in it.
What?
No, I've seen some weird setups. All right, but going back to our urinal discussion, right?
Yeah. See, here's the thing, right? Like, let's what annoys me more than the guy that comes like and stands right next to the other guy?
What annoys you?
Let's say there's a guy on spot number 1, right?
Okay.
Let's say there's a guy on spot number 1. The second guy comes in and he's like, "Oh, I'll just distance myself from the other guy, whatever."
Oh, no. I know what you're gonna say.
And goes to number 4.
Oh my god!
This is the most inconsiderate,
Anita,
uncultured, uncivilized behavior.
Cultural barbarian. If someone is at 1 or 5, right, and you stand at number 4 or number 2, depending on the situation, and then all of the adjacent urinals are now like occupied, right? You have ruined this experiment for everyone, Anita. Like,
Now,
Oh.
if there are 5 urinals, it is a situation where 3 people can pee comfortably.
Correct.
But
Yeah.
because of that one crazy mother, it becomes a place where only 2 people can pee comfortably. Like, what is
that? What is that? It's crazy. You know what else is terrible? Stadiums, sporting events, right?
Oh, yeah, don't pee there.
You go to a sporting event. Number one, there's a very low chance that they have the dividers between the stalls because they're so cheap.
Right.
Because they're trying to fit as many urinals in there as they can. Number two, Anita, when you're at a basketball game and we reach the quarter period, you're in a hockey game, we reach the period, everyone has to go to the restroom, right? These rules and ethics go out the window, right?
Out the window.
Out the window because everyone has to go, right? Now, everyone is in every stall. There's no dividers. There's about 50 bros deep waiting to go. And you somehow have to perform on the spot.
You know what it's like, Anita? You know, like you've been to Black Friday, right? Like, you know how like on Black Friday,
Oh,
like
a long
Best
time
Buy,
ago, yeah.
right. Black Friday, Best Buy, you don't want to go there. It's a complete wild mess, right? Like
Yes.
people are just acting out of line. all over the place. That's what it is.
Let's put it this way. I've gotten stage fright before at a stadium. There was one time I was in the line of bros. The spot clear. I was like, oh, that's me, right? I go to the spot.
right.
I have to go. Nothing comes out.
And then you get nervous.
And then I pretend I go and I leave. I've done that before.
Oh.
No, it's like, all right, females, you generally get the stall, right? There's like, I know in America, privacy is
Yeah.
not really great in terms of bathrooms, but at least you have your own space, right? For bros, it's like, you better perform right now, fam. Like, it is what it is. Stressful.
And you can audibly hear who is like performing at their peak. Right? Like that is the issue. That like, because there's no sound coming. Like,
Bro, you just fake it till you make it, fam. And you come back later defeated, just saying. Anita, are you shocked by this?
Well, it's not a conversation I thought we were gonna have in the future, but it's informative, I guess.
Does it sort of make sense, though, the ethics at least?
Yeah.
I don't know if that sounds very convincing, but
I mean, the thing is, Anita never asked for this information.
I did not. The audience must be reassured. I,
I mean,
did not suggest this topic.
we told everyone at the end of last year we were going to talk about weird stuff during the segment, right? This is kind of weird, right?
I mean, the whole thing happened because me and my college buddies, we were talking about one of my college friends was considering getting a bidet in his home.
I'm
That's weird.
considering getting a
okay.
bidet, dude.
Right, because he was saying environmentally, it's a lot more friendlier, and I was like,
True.
oh, right, like toilet paper,
yeah.
right, that makes sense. And he was like, yeah, like every time I poop, I'm like using like 12 blocks of toilet paper, and I was like, oh, like why are you using 12 blocks of toilet paper?
You know what it also is? I was thinking about it. You use the word poo so much more than I do.
I mean, do you want me to use dung?
No, I just say I'm using the bathroom. That's what I noticed. Like, I audibly cringe every time you say it for some reason.
I mean, it's a fun word to say.
Yeah, poo. I mean, I'm the one wearing poo on my hat right now. Just saying.
Tables have turned, boy.
I mean, all right, all right. Getting flushing this conversation down the drain, right?
No, you didn't.
Did anyone else have anything they wanted to talk about?
I hope nobody's like unsubscribing from us because of this content.
It is what it
This
is.
is not the usual topic, just so you
We're
know.
still talking about K-pop, guys.
Yeah, in terms of K-pop, right? I've been so on the BB hype train as of late. I've been watching not only her music, but the stuff she's been doing on Variety. Like, she's sort of part of the Workman cast at the moment. She fills in once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
She's gonna be on a show with like Jang Do-yeon and Yena from IZ*ONE. There's a show coming out.
right.
It's sort of, I think, similar to Daechwatru, the escape room show. They're gonna do something of that matter.
Same producer, yeah.
Kind of excited for that. I think so. I didn't
same.
realize that BB was in Tiger JK's company. I did not
Yeah,
realize.
feel
that.
the
Oh,
music.
yeah.
Yeah.
So she does have good backers. for sure.
Yeah. She's definitely on the come up, guys. She is probably one of the most rising R&B singers of Korea right now.
She's like Tiger JK's and Tasha's like child at this point. People are saying like the way they treat each other.
Yeah. And it was almost revolutionary how open she is.
Yeah.
About toilet behavior.
She's also way more liberal in her lyrics than Koreans would generally expect from a female artist, and I think it's really refreshing that she's able to do that.
Right. She had a song called "Cigarette and Condoms," and that was like, you can do this now. Like, whoa, like.
She's unapologetically her, and I really like that about her.
Same.
We kind of just talked about bathrooms for 20 minutes. What is our content becoming, fam?
You want to wrap it?
No, we could talk a little bit more. Anita, have you been doing anything?
Not really. I think I've mostly been catching up on drama. So True Beauty resumed airing. I haven't watched all of the episodes that are out yet. I think I still have one left. But what I mentioned last week, for sure, they've changed a lot of the storyline. It's very much now loosely based on the webtoon. So if you read the webtoon or you're familiar with the webtoon, the drama is not 100% following it, that storyline, that plot line. And I think it can be good because I think it's something completely new. So they have more freedom to change and do things. So many references that they're throwing in the drama to like other movies and other dramas. I think the writers, the directors are going all out with like the cliches, the very predictable type of situations that happen, but it's funny. I think it adds more to this comedy aspect to the drama that I don't think the webtoon really had it. So it's refreshing for someone who is seeing both. But other than that, I think not much.
I watched the first episode of Crash Landing on You.
Oh. How do you think?
I'm not fully into it yet.
Okay.
You have to suspend a lot of disbelief to even get through the first episode. Like, it's obviously
really
called Crash Landing on You, right?
Yes.
And the generic plot is like, I think I could say this. Spoilers if you don't want to even know the generic plot, right? Rich Korean businesswoman flies like a hang glider and ends up in North Korea, and then the North Korean guy's gonna protect her. That's like the generic plot.
Yeah.
Hey.
To get her to North Korea, you had to like suspend a lot of disbelief for that to happen. There was like a CG tornado and stuff.
Oh.
And there was like cows flying around. It was a lot, dude.
Oh, interesting.
That being said, it is interesting. I'm kind of. Well, I think we'll keep watching it though at the moment.
Oh, I tried watching a drama this week.
Oh yes.
I tried to watch Startup.
I was going to start that too. Is it you couldn't?
I couldn't.
No,
because my mom is using Netflix all the time. I don't know why. She was never using Netflix. I guess I have to upgrade my account.
So you attempted, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, that's why I said I tried, but I couldn't.
Are you watching for the plot, or are you watching for Suzy?
I'm actually watching because I'm curious as a person that actually works in the startup industry.
Yes.
That's a good
Very
response.
Relatable.
That was a good response, fair. Touche.
It's true.
So I had my birthday yesterday. You know, COVID conditions. COVID conditions. What are you gonna do? I got a second interesting embroidered hat. I'll wear it next week, I guess. Y'all have seen that one though.
That was a lot more wholesome.
Yeah, that was unexpected too. Yeah. You know, we just chilled. We got fried chicken, which is great.
Nice.
You know, the Popeye sandwich, pretty legit. I get why people were lining. I wouldn't line up for it, but you know, I get it. The hype.
Oh wait, that reminds me. Have you guys heard that Shake Shack is dropping a gochujang chicken burger?
Oh,
what?
Right. That's the thing. Yeah, they're like here. Let me look up the actual name.
I've gotten the chicken sandwich at Shake Shack too before, and it's good. Right.
Huh. No, Shake Shack is pretty good with their Korean stuff. Okay, they have a Korean style fried chicken sandwich with a also on the side with a kimchi slaw on that burger with a gochujang glazed fried chicken. I sound like a
bro. You remember at Michigan Soul Street had the kimchi fries, fam?
Oh
This
man.
Oh, bro. So there was
good.
this fried chicken place back in Ann Arbor that you would order. The problem is you would have to order like 3 hours before you wanted to eat because the delivery was so
Right.
goddamn slow for them. But once you got it, it was so good, that fried chicken place.
See, what they did really well with other that took them apart from other kimchi fries is that, like, excuse me, I have to burp a little bit. What I thought was really crazy was they used fried kimchi instead of regular kimchi. Sorry,
Bokum
stir fried
kimchi.
kimchi instead
Yeah,
of regular
bokum kimchi.
Right, bokum kimchi. And the thing I have with kimchi, right? It is usually like pointed to as Korea's most marketed, most famous menu item, and I think that is. I always thought that is the stupidest thing ever, right? Kimchi, because it's a pickled, it's a fermented food item with a very strong scent, and it's very
Yeah.
spicy.
And it's cold. People don't like cold
Right.
things all that much. Yeah.
Right. I just can't imagine. I mean, sure, there are plenty of like Western people who love kimchi, but if you give it to a random Joe off the streets, I can't imagine they're gonna enjoy that based on the food they've eaten while they're growing up. Now, what's really smart about stir-fried kimchi, bokum kimchi, is that like all of that like strong scent that comes from it being fermented goes away, and I think it's a lot more palatable. Right?
So take your kimchi, right? Chop it up a little bit. Put a tiny bit of sesame oil in a pan, right? Throw the kimchi in there. Maybe put some toasted sesame seeds on it. Maybe a tiny bit of sugar if you like things a little bit sweeter. You know, you could just throw some rice in there after you do that. You know, that's already good. That's almost a
That's
kimchi
already good.
bokkeumbap in itself. If you
already
added a little
good.
bit of spam or bacon or whatever you got. Right? If you want to go to the next level, take some seaweed strips, cut it up into little strips, sprinkle that on at the end. Boom. Maybe fry an
Get a
egg
little-
on top.
Oh yeah, there you go. the controversial split opinion on that is the usage of cheese.
My family does not put cheese. Well, a lot of my family's lactose intolerant. We don't put cheese on stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Koreans have a thing with like putting mozzarella cheese on their spicy menu items.
There's a anju or like thing you eat where you're drinking called corn cheese, and it is literally corn and cheese. That's it.
It's great.
It's good though. It's good though.
It's really good.
You know what's good, low key? If you eat that and you get like a tortilla chip or something. Oh, I've done that. Boy, that's good, right?
Boy. So what I thought was really interesting nowadays is that like if you think about Korean food and the way it was being marketed like 15 or so years ago, it was like stuff like kimchi, bibimbap, you know, stuff like that.
Bibimbap. Oh my god.
But now I feel like the narrative has shifted a little bit into stuff like tteokbokkeum. Like what's that in
So
English?
stir-fried chicken stew essentially.
No, not stew. On a
Oh,
pan,
you just
on
mean
a big
stir-fried
pan.
chicken, so dakbokkeum. Okay.
Right.
Or like dakgalbi. You don't
right,
go?
takgalbi.
Okay, so
yeah.
dakgalbi is essentially you take the gochujang, right? You season it up a little. You put some sesame oil. You put some sugar. Mix that up. You know, whatever. Mix it up a little. Then you take chicken. You take some vegetables. You dump the sauce on it, and then you just stir fry it, and it's really good.
It's really, really good.
You throw some sweet potato noodles in there too.
Ooh.
We going next level with that.
Good stuff. And apparently that is really, really big in Southeast Asia and then
There's
Europe
whole
right
restaurant chains about it now these days.
now. I know.
Hey,
And
keep talking a little, and then we're gonna cut you off because we're gonna talk about food next week. I decided.
Okay. You want to do a
Food special.
food World Cup?
I don't think we do a full World Cup yet. Let's just describe what our favorite
Okay,
Korean foods
alright.
are next week and some of our memories surrounding them.
Yes,
Because
I have memories.
The three of
Yes.
us have had some memories eating Korean food before. I'm talking like the budae-jjigae adventures we used to take and stuff like that. Things like that. But you know,
I'll have to think about that a little bit, but I'm down. Yeah.
this week was bathroom talk. Next week we're getting extended food talk. I think so this week don't eat when you're watching. Next week eat when you're watching and you'll be good.
Oh man.
I am so sorry if you're listening to this while you're enjoying your lunch or dinner or breakfast.
Dude, it's just your word choice. Sometimes it's so crude, dude. But next week, in terms of things we might review, Wednesday, January 13th, Yubin has a song. The following day, on Thursday the 14th, Alexa. We haven't covered her on the pod. Maybe we'll cover her this week.
yeah.
And then Monday is another big day. On the 18th, we have AB6, and the return of Epic High, and I believe the title track features Crush. So that's a thing.
Ooh.
K. Hi.
But this has been SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. I'm Doug. I'd like to thank Warren and Anita for joining me this week. Sorry for everyone who was eating. It is what it is, though. Deal with it. We'll see you all next week. And by the way, our episodes, like this one, is being dropped on a Tuesday. All future episodes will also be dropped on Tuesday, barring technical difficulties. But we will see you then, guys. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Special shoutouts to our Fiesta patrons: Based, Mina, Jenai, Gogumama, Jacob, Luke Daniels, Malfiar, NJ Parks, OP, Chris, Tier. Thank you for joining SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. And special thanks to our Discord server mods: Jacob, K Music Erday, Koala, Malfiar, Max, No Bias Luna, Tuggles, and Wolf297.